the end of it.
Absolutely. So this is round 4 of the PBS Brakes Hot Hatch Championship, and it's about to get underway. The lights go out, away they go, and Preble's power should come into its own. I don't think he's made the best start, but then his power will bring him into the lead by Abbey. Williamson's second. Phil Wright's going to lose third there, is he, to Tony Perfect. He made a better start in the first race. There, the Class C cars. Looks like Dan Gibbs might have got the better of David Drinkwater there. Williamson going after Preble, isn't he? I don't think he'll be able to last there, though. And then this group of cars is absolutely nailed to the back of Preble, isn't he, here, Marcus?
Looks like it. As they come down through the link onto the hangar straight, it's still the white car, Gary Preble. Behind him is the Williamson car. And they're all chasing through, one or two arriving very adventurously in the middle of that. But here they are then on the hangar straight. One of the Black Fiesta was way out wide at the back of the, towards the back of the pack. And the 77 Clio is not progressing terribly well.
No, I wonder if he's had a bit of a moment. Here's Ali Camp up the inside in the Fiesta of the Mini of Charlie Collins. Collins started much further back on the grid, so perhaps possibly not a good start for Camp. Here's the leader. This is Gary Preble, 91. And he's using that power now to get away from Ian Williamson. I think in the first race, Preble was about a second out of the lap record, so slower than Ben Rushworth. Phil Wright, he's dropping back, isn't he? He's been passed by Tony Perfect, and now he's dropping into the clutches of the rest. And I think behind him is the Paul Bancroft car. Then Leon Shepherd going really well in his Fiesta. He's in 6th overall. There is Phil Wright, though, under pressure, as I say, from Paul Bancroft, who originally had entered in Class A, but he's dropped down into Class B.
You forget how quick these cars are, and you see the sharp end of the field progressing through Abbey really. Oh, there's been an incident there.
So that's Barsby into Houchen, so that was for 7th. Oliver Barsby was 9th across the line, so I wonder if he's got his braking for the hairpin all a bit wrong. So Callum Houchen is off the road there. There's Ali Camp in his Fiesta out of one of the Clios. That is Jeff Connor. New livery on that car this season. And there's Barsby now without the front bumper after his Civic got into the other car. And now he's under pressure from Sean Green, who pops out the toe and goes up the inside, but he's not going to get the better of him. Around the outside of all of them comes Ali Camp, the car that's for sale. I think it was for sale at this meeting last year, so it's still for sale. And Ali Camp, is he going to find a way through? No, he can't. A big bold move around the outside didn't work.
It's a really good camera angle, that, isn't it? Most unusual, down into through the Vale.
So Camp there, trying to progress from a slow start. So many cars in Class B means they're all getting together and racing amongst themselves, with just the one Class A car and just over half dozen Class C cars. The majority of them all coming in that same class, which means we get these big packs racing together. And Ali Camp here trying to come around the outside of Charlie Collins. So the Fiesta looks up the inside of the Mini Cooper and goes through. So that's Camp into 9th.
Yeah, and then runs wide towards that abandoned bumper from Oliver Barsby's car.
Behind Jeff Connor, hit the curbs pretty hard in his Renault. There's one of the only Integra we have now.
Which is now in a sort of ex-BTC style livery, isn't it?
That's Ben Morton at the wheel. He was 13th across the line.
Oh, got a car pulling off here, one of the Clios.
That's that one that was slow on the first lap, wasn't it? The
yeah.
Danny Levette car. So here comes number 7, was that? 7, Cameron Elder. Here's the battle for 4. Phil Wright's lost another place. Paul Bancroft has passed him now. This race is not going well. 2 wins at Mallory Park for Phil Wright. At Silverstone, he's not going as planned. So down to P4 within the class. This is all going to go into the hands of David Drinkwater, isn't it? Who's won every race so far in Class C and leads again today by a few seconds ahead of Dan Gibbs. So here is Bancroft and Wright, 3rd and 4th within Class B, 4th and 5th overall. Ian Williamson's done a 1:17.4, which is, I think, under the lap record again, so it's just getting quicker and quicker. But Tony Perfect going with him, only a second between the two of them, so Perfect having a good race. And he's actually only half a tenth off of Williamson's best lap. Again, both these drivers pretty new to racing.
And they're only, 4 tenths or so apart, aren't they? So they're working hard.
There is Tony Perfect, 169. Oh, Williamson was out wide though at Stowe, but don't know if it affected him too much. There's Leon Shepherd, 6th position in the best non-Civic. That's the Ford Fiesta ST. There's Gary Preble, the overall leader. So that is 4 laps done.
It's just powering away, isn't he? It's growing all the while.
That's what an extra 50 or so brake horsepower would do, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of talent behind the wheel, of course.
Yes, absolutely. So here's Paul Bancroft in the Area Motorsport Civic, 4th overall, 1.5 seconds behind Perfect, and catching on that last lap. So the quickest Class B car on that particular lap was Paul Bancroft in 53. There's 63, Phil Wright. And there's Cameron Alder, number 7. He's pulled off at Club Corner on the inside. See, some of these cars have grown really low front splitters over the winter. Almost 3 abreast there. That's Oliver Barsby, Sean Green and Alistair Camp, 7th, 8th and 9th.
You wonder whether the lack of front splitter on that car will affect its turn-in ability that understeers the result.
Here comes Sean Green, he's alongside him now. Possibly a few spots of rain out, our trackside cameramen have felt. Whether that will affect the circuit, yet to be seen. Here comes Camp, he dived up the inside. Here's a couple of Saxos side by side. That's Paul Warren and Wayne Shackelford. And what happened in that side-by-side action? Camp got through, so Barsby's lost 2 places on this lap. First to Sean Green, and now to Ali Camp. There's the yellows for the Cameron Alder car that's being pushed away. So through Club Corner they come. So Green and Camp now getting away from Barsby. There's still a great group of cars there, all battling amongst themselves, Marcus.
Yeah, that kind of peloton effect with the biggest tranche of the field all locked in combat, which is just great.
Gary Preble still leads, 9 seconds ahead of Ian Williamson. Tony Perfect a further 1.4 seconds back, and then Paul Bancroft another second away. And then Phil Wright's just falling further and further back, so I wonder if he's got a small issue, because you wouldn't really expect him to be back there in 4th within his category. And being caught, is he, by Leon Shepherd? No, not on that lap. But he's only, 5 seconds ahead. There's the other Fiesta. That's Camp. There's the leader.
Tom Bell racing car, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes. Here's Preble. It's one of the oldest Civics too, isn't it, that car?
Yes, I never remember what they call it. Is that an EP3 or something?
I think that's the EK,
Oh, EK,
and then the
is it?
EP3s are the other ones.
Followed on.
Yeah. So Preble's done 6 laps now. 1:15.5 his best lap. I guess he hasn't really pushed on as if he had a competitor, but he's 1.5 seconds off Ben
Looking
Rushworth's
interesting down the old hangar straight behind number 1, which is the David Drinkwater BMW.
He leads Class C still, and I think that battle we saw in the background was the rest of the class all together. Across the line, Dan Gibbs was ahead of Paul Warren and Wayne Shackelford and Will Hornsey. So perhaps we'll be able to pick that up. The Class B battle's pretty good. There are 3 cars across the circuit coming into Abbey. Charlie Collins chucks it up the inside of the Mini to go past Oliver Barsby. So that is for 9th position in the race. Here's that Class C battle. So it's the Volkswagen Golf of Dan Gibbs ahead of Wayne Shackelford's Saxo, similar car of Paul Warren, then the Peugeot of Will Hornsey. So that's sort of back to the old Stockhatch days, isn't it? There's Barsby. He's lost that place and now he's under pressure from Jeff Connor. Hard to tell which battle to watch, whether to watch the Class B cars or the Class Cs. And here come the Class Cs, the Dan Gibbs Golf. We've got the Corsa at the back of this group as well.
The old Golf Mark II. Great cars. And they still look good. They still serve well on road and track.
Now Dan Gibbs second in class in that car. Well, a bit older than the Saxos, isn't it? But chasing it, and the Peugeot there, Will Hornsey. Ooh, looking up here, the Mini, Charlie Collins. Collins going much better this year than we've seen him go. That's a well turned out car as well.
The Global Robots car.
Good advertisement there. Yeah, Collins in the top 10. Didn't do that at Mallory Park, so I think he's on for his best result here if he can hang on. He's chasing after Ali Camp, and Ali Camp, a former champion within Class A back in 2017. Here's Jeff Connor now having a go at Oliver Barsby up the inside for 10th place. Oh, and Barsby's gone straight on. Big lock-up. Has it broken the front left corner?
It's broken the steering arm, I think it's broken.
So that'd be from the contact zone. You see the rain spots on the camera lens there too. So I don't think the moisture's affecting the cars there. But that would probably explain why he was falling back down the order.
If the steering is going to break, that's kind of where you want it to break, isn't it?
Not going through Abbey.
On a slow corner.
So there's Camp and Collins and Connor. So Fiesta Mini and Clio. So 3 of the cars that aren't Honda Civics all together on the circuit. Again, Charlie Collins into the Vale. That's a big old lock-up as the rear left tyre leaves the ground.
Bancroft within 0.6 of perfect, and Wright is about 3.5 seconds behind him, something like that, and a long way ahead of the rest.
So yeah, Paul Bancroft going well in this race. His first weekend out in Hot Hatch. We saw him also, I think, out in the Road Sports race, so he's having plenty of track time today. We'll perhaps pick up that battle then. Here they are. So there's Williamson leading Class B, and behind Tony Perfect, under a lot of pressure now from Paul Bancroft. So there's Williamson, but it's behind. It's the battle for second within the class. 2.5 seconds behind Williamson. They're the Saxos. So that's now the Paul Warren car ahead of Wayne Shackelford.
Still bungee corded together, aren't they, those two?
And the Mini and the Clio are battling, Charlie Collins and Jeff Connor. So there's plenty of battles throughout the pack, even if Gary Preble's got a huge lead.
Something flapping, door windows hanging out on that car.
Yes, on the Mini. Don't think it's slowing him down too much. Just behind this pair are Cole Swan, who had so many seasons in Stock Hatch. Get the Mini, has these huge lock-ups into the Vale. He's run a bit wide, so is this going to give Connor the run round the outside at Club Corner?
Yeah, he's got his nose ahead, and he's made it. Connor gets 9th place from Charlie Collins.
Don't see him move round Club Corner like that very often, around the outside. And just behind them is Cole Swan. Cole Swan in a Class B Saxo. There's Collins into this yellow flag zone. They leave the car there. Leon Shepherd's gone off from 6th. Is that a spin, or is he just pulling off? No, he's pulling off, I think, isn't he? So that's a shame, because he was running there pretty well. Well, side by side here, the Corsa and the Peugeot 106. That's David Meesday up the inside of William Hornsey. And Corsa nosing ahead as they go down towards Abbey. So these are both Class C cars. As they turn into Abbey, the Peugeot goes around the outside to stay ahead, and they're soon going to be lapped by the Class B leader, Ian Williamson, who's still ahead of Tony Perfect and Paul Bancroft.
Still tied together, those two. Perfect in 1:69, 53 Bancroft.
David Drinkwater leads Class C by 10 seconds, by the way, so it'll be hard to beat him again this season, I think.
Green's going to move up into 6th place, isn't he? Yes, he does, because, of course, they've lost Shepherd. Camp is 7th, 8th is Jeffrey Connor, and in 9th now Charlie Collins, and in 10th Carl Swan.
Here are the Saxos, Paul Warren and Wayne Shackelford. The Warren car is the former championship winning car in the hands of Paul Jarvis back in 2017. There's Charlie Collins, who's getting lots of airtime in this race in the Mini Cooper. Here are the Saxos. The TBR car, that's Wayne Shackelford. That's the ex-Lee Deegan car, I think, and Phil Law since then. So both these cars have had good battles between themselves with different drivers in the past.
So what you're saying is they probably know their own way around the circuit.
Pretty much. The car's not quite being flung around like they did when the Deegans were driving them. This is the battle for 16th and 17th, third in class, and Shackelford goes up the inside and goes ahead of Paul Warren. Both these drivers pretty new to racing. I think Shackelford's come from autograss and Paul Warren's coming from short ovals. So learnt their craft on one oval or another. Now come to circuit racing. Now behind that battle for third, there they are, absolutely nose to tail now. Tony Perfect and Paul Bancroft, and Bancroft trying to come down the inside on the long run down towards Stowe Corner, and he might get it here, Marcus. He's fully alongside, I think.
I reckon his nose is ahead. Front spoiler is nothing else, but round the outside you can take a bit more speed in. But Perfect's hung out to dry. Can he get as a car on the outside there? So there've been yellows anyway.
That's Alistair Camp.
Yeah.
So he went missing on the last lap.
Another TBR Fiesta.
Yeah.
Off at the side of the track.
So that means Perfect was able to hang on because of those yellows. Oh, and the checkered flag's gone out. So Gary Preble's won. So 2 wins out of 2, 4 out of 4 are in the season for Gary Preble. Ian Williamson comes through to win Class B. And then for third place overall, Tony Perfect hangs on. So that yellow saved him somewhat. So 4th for Bancroft, 5th for Phil Wright, 6th should be Sean Green. He comes across the line, does he? You know, a bit further back, aren't they, the rest of them? And there's Jeff Connor, who's 7th in the Clio. Yeah, Sean Green crosses the line now in 6th. Jeff Connor will take 7th. Charlie Collins will be 8th, and Cole Swan and Ben Morton into the top 10 with those cars falling out earlier on.
Swan Morton make surgical blades, don't they? It's a company opportunity there, I think.
And Class C will be won by David Drinkwater once again in the compact. That will be 4 wins out of 4 and the championship lead for Drinkwater, because of course Preble not scoring full points with the smaller entry.
Huchin, who was tagged in the early laps, recovered to 11th, so he ended up 11th. That was the tagger, wasn't it? We've seen the taggee finished.
Yeah, so in the long run, it rather affected Oliver Barsby's race. So fastest lap went to Gary Preble, 1:15.5. In Class B, 1:17.44, new record for Ian Williamson. But him, Perfect and Bancroft, their best lap separated by less than a 10th. So that was pretty competitive. And then Class C, David Drinkwater, 1:22.14, which is a bit away from Paul Jarvis's lap record. You saw his car out there. Haven't seen Jarvis race, I don't think, since he sold his Saxo. But his lap record still stands here at Silverstone. Another 20-second winning margin for Gary Preble. And another rather easy run for him without any competition. Hopefully the competition will return for the remainder of the season. The next rounds will be live with Alpha Live once more at Snetterton, and then the Silverstone National Circuit in November will complete the hot hatch season for 2020. So again, there'll be a few cars to pick up at the end of this race, and we have 3 further races to come up today, and then 9 races to look forward to tomorrow. So keep with us on the Alpha Live stream, either on YouTube or Facebook, or if you're watching on the 750 Motor Club socials too. Thanks for joining us. Jack Van Dick's asking how much this costs. We'll head to the 750 Motor Club website. All the information is there, gives you the entry fees. Cars for sale are also on that website in the classified. So head on to the 750 Motor Club website, and you can find out more about the Hot Hatch Championship and all the other championships and series that are run by the club that are the leaders in affordable motorsport here in the UK. So there's no better way to start racing than with the 750 Motor Club. Whatever your budget is, there will be a series that you fit into. Down in the pit lane, Matt Suckling once more has some winning drivers.
Down here with our race winner Gary Preble from that second hot hatch race. Gary, many congratulations, 2 out of 2 here today at Silverstone, not bad at all.
Yeah, that was again, it was pretty easy with some of the front runners that are normally in the mix, not here today unfortunately, but still I take that. I mean, I don't think I qualify for all the championship points due to the number of starters, which might be a bit of a setback, so yeah, need some more Class A's out there pretty quick, but yeah, thoroughly enjoyed myself, and all back in one piece, so that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's what the guys were talking about in commentary about. We need some more Class A competitors because then you get your points. That's what you need, isn't it, for the championship?
Yeah, exactly that. You know, there's a few of them out there that normally attend that are not here today, so they need to hurry up and get back.
Enjoy today's racing though.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, thanks very much.
Good stuff. Thanks, Gary. Hopefully see you back out for the next one as well. There's Gary. Look, we'll bring in Class B winner as well, which is Ian Williamson. Ian, many congratulations. You've been Class C runner-up last year. You now move to Class B. 2 victories on your first outing. Well done.
Yeah, I'm not expecting whatsoever, but I'll take it anyways.
And you weren't too bad off the start there as well. You gave Gary a good run for his money through the first few corners.
Yeah, so the first time I've ever done a start was the first race, and it didn't go particularly well. But we learned from that, and second one went a lot better. A lot more happier with that one.
You got stuck in there, so you got your first 2 races out of the way in Class B. Now on to the next one. You're looking forward to it?
But yeah, very much so. Yeah, very much so. We've got a competitive car. Bring on the rest of the season.
Good stuff. Well done, Ian. Congratulations on your second place and, of course, the Class B win as well. So there you go. 2 drivers have a chat to. One of those being Ian Williamson and the other one there, of course, race winner twice today, Gary Preble.